A very good morning, children. How are you doing? Hope you are keeping well and using your time wisely in studies. Students, in the last class, we studied about active and passive voice. We came to know, we came to know that when the subject is the doer of an action, it is called an active voice, and when the subject receives the action expressed by the verb, it is a passive voice, students. Also, students, in the last class, we learned the conversion of sentences from active to passive, particularly from simple present tense to simple past tense. Now, students, we shall learn how to change sentences from active to passive in other tenses too. So, let's begin with past continuous tense. Student, the active structure of past continuous tense is like this. Subject comes first and then subject is followed by either was or were according to singularity or plurality. If subject is singular, then it will take was. If it is plural, then it will be followed by were. Then first form of the verb plus ing plus object. Example is written over here. She was writing a novel. So she is the subject, was and was has come. Why? Because subject is singular, and then writing means first form of the verb followed by ing plus object. Now let's see, student, the passive structure of this tense. First of all, what comes? Object becomes subject. So object comes in the beginning. Then it is followed by either was or were according to singular or plural subject. Then plus being plus past participle form of the verb. Past participle form of the verb means third form of the verb plus by plus subject of the active sentence. Right? Example is here before us. A novel. There's what was the sentence? She was writing a novel. What is its active? A novel was being written by her. Right? Clear? Then student, let's move forward to the next tense. Next tense is past perfect tense. What happens in past perfect tense? In past perfect tense, active structure is like this. Subject comes, then had, then past participle form of the verb, then object. Had plus third form of the verb. What is the passive structure? Subject is there, then had is there, then he had, then been is there, plus third form of the verb is there. Some examples are here, students. Let's see. Girl had clicked selfie. So what will be its passive structure? Selfie had been clicked by girl. If it is plural, then also had come. Had, whether singular subjective there or plural subjective there, had only comes, isn't it? So girls had clicked selfie. So what will be its passive structure? Selfie had been clicked by girls. If there are many selfies, then girls had clicked selfies. So what will be its passive structure, students? Selfies had been clicked by girls. Means to say whether subject is singular, either in active or passive, had only is there in active sentences and in passive sentences. In passive sentences, only been is added. Clear? Next tense is, student, simple future tense. Why? Because there is no active and passive voice of which tenses? So, future, past perfect continuous tense, and future perfect continuous tense, and future continuous tense. Right? So let's see. Perfect continuous tense, active and passive voice cannot be made. Passive voice cannot be made of all perfect continuous tenses, whether it is present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, or future perfect continuous tense. So let's see, student, the simple what happens in simple future tense. Its active structure is like this. Subject comes in the beginning, then it is followed by either will or shall, then first form of the verb, then object. What happens in passive? In passive, of subject becomes object becomes subject, so it comes in the beginning. Then will oblique shall plus we plus third form of the verb, which is called past participle form, plus by plus subject. Here instead of S and O, there should be O and S. So like let's see the example. My parents will take us to park. This is the sentence. My parent is subject. Will if they are, take if they are first form of the verb, us if they are the object, to the park. So let's see what can it be made. We will be taken to the park by our parents. So us become we, and will if they are the, then what comes, a student will be, right? After will only be is added. So we will be third form of the word. What is the third form of take? Taken, right, to the park by our parents, isn't it? So my parent will take us to the to our park. My parent will take us to the park. So we will be taken to the park by our parents only. Next is a student. There is no passive voice. I have already told you of future continuous tense and future perfect continuous tense. So the next is a student future perfect tense only. So normal structure of sentence in active voice or simple future tense is, what is the normal structure, student? Subject comes, then it is followed by either will have or shall have, then third form of the verb, then object, right? This is active structure. Like example, she will have cooked the food, right? This is active structure. Here she if the subject, cooked if the V3 means third form of the verb, which is called past participle of the verb of cook, and food if the object. So students, while changing the sentence into passive voice, this structure becomes, means what is the passive structure? Subject, then will have been plus third form of the verb plus by plus agent. So let's see, the food will have been cooked by her, means the object becomes subject. So what was the object there in the first sentence? The food. So it will come in the beginning. Then will have or shall have is followed by been, 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 then third form of the verb, then by, and then subject, right? By her only, she becomes her. We have already learned the change of pronouns in the first part of the video, right? Some other example we can see, Shubham will have written homework. This is active voice. What else with passive voice? Homework will have been. Been is added only. Will have been written by Shubham. Right? Clear? Simran will have learnt English. Active sentence. English will have been. English will have been. Only been is added. Learnt by Simran, passive voice. Now student just see active and passive voice in modals. In modals, what happens? Subject if they are, modal if they are, passive structure if they, subject if they are, modal if they are, be, and then past participle form. Means to say, only in passive voice, after the modal, what happens? Be is added. Like if it is must student, then it will be must be and third form of the verb. If it is then it can be third form of the verb. If it is should be third form of the verb. Could be third form of the verb. May be third form of the verb. Might be third form of the verb. Have to be third form of the verb. Examples are written over here, student. I must clean the house. So the house is the object, so it will come in the beginning. The house must, and must will be followed by be, and then third form of the verb. The house must be cleaned. I can clean the house. The house can be cleaned. How easy it is. I should clean the house. The house should be cleaned. I could clean the house. The house could be cleaned. I may clean the house. The house may be cleaned. I might clean the house. The house might be cleaned. I have to clean the house. The house has to be cleaned. So every model is followed by what? Be and third form of the verb. Right? We have to see if it is beta plural subject, then have to comes, and if it is singular subject, then has to come. So hope you have understood it. Thank you very much.